Free alongside ship, FAS, is one of the Incoterms rules used only for sea and inland waterway transport. Under FAS, delivery occurs when the seller places the goods alongside the vessel nominated by the buyer at the named port of shipment, or procures the goods already so delivered for shipment to the agreed destination. The risk of loss or damage to the goods passes from seller to buyer when the goods are placed alongside the ship, and the buyer bears all costs and risks from this point. The primary duties of the seller. The seller is responsible for carriage of the goods only until they are placed alongside the vessel nominated by the buyer at the named port of shipment. The seller bears the risks until the goods are delivered alongside the vessel at the named port of shipment. The seller bears the costs until the goods are delivered alongside the vessel at the named port of shipment. The seller has no obligation to the buyer to make a contract of insurance, and the buyer has no obligation to the seller to make a contract of insurance. The seller also bears the cost incurred for export or security clearance in country of export. The seller will provide the buyer with the usual proof that the goods have been delivered alongside the vessel at the named port of shipment. If a transport document is required by the buyer, then the seller must provide the buyer, at the buyer's risk and expense, with assistance in obtaining the transport document. In practical terms, under free alongside ship, the seller takes care of making the goods available for export, local transport in country of export, export clearance. The buyer takes care of loading, main maritime transport, unloading, import clearance, local transport in country of import, if any. The buyer must pay the price of goods as agreed in the contract of sale.